Welcome to Highway Herald, your roadmap to the latest in auto. Today, we're diving into the slowing pace of the electric vehicle (EV) revolution. It seems the spark is fading, with fewer Americans envisioning an EV as their next ride. We could debate consumer resistance all day, but the crux of the matter is the steep price tag of EVs, which remains a barrier for most American drivers. The wave of early adopters has receded, leaving behind a market of potential buyers who find EVs too costly. This suggests that the EV strategies of Ford and GM have overlooked the average buyer. Let's delve into some clear indicators. Reason number 6. GM's EVs, a luxurious leap. General Motors has a legacy of catering to the average American buyer. However, their future trajectory appears to be veering away from the mainstream, especially when you consider their current EV lineup. It began promisingly with the Bolt, one of the first mass-produced electric cars that enjoyed respectable commercial success. But the road took a sharp turn. GM's EVs transformed into high-end vehicles, with models like the all-electric GMC Hummer, Cadillac Lyriq, and all-electric versions of the Silverado and GMC Sierra. These models bear little resemblance to their popular internal combustion predecessors, known for their balance of price and quality. The new all-electric versions come with a hefty price tag, and GM's decision to launch their most expensive variants first suggests they were targeting early adopters rather than the average buyer. GM's electric vehicles remain a distant dream for most Americans. Take the all-electric Blazer, for instance. Despite being on the market for a few months, its price is significantly higher than its gas-powered equivalent. With the ICE Blazer starting at around $35,000, the cheapest all-electric Blazer comes in at nearly $57,000. It's hard to see how such a high-priced Blazer could become a bestseller. Reason number 5. Ford's EVs, high price, low voltage. The Blue Oval Company hasn't been as ambitious as GM in terms of electrification, but it has introduced a few EVs. Rather than developing a dedicated EV platform, Ford opted for a more modest approach, modifying ICE platforms for models like the Mustang Mach-E. Despite this, the all-electric Mustang, even with a relatively modest single-motor setup, is still significantly more expensive than the base gas-powered Mustang, even after tax credit. This suggests that the slow sales aren't just due to purist backlash. The Mustang Mach-E isn't a particularly rational choice. It may appeal to EV enthusiasts and affluent households, but it's unlikely to draw in the masses. The same holds true for the F-150 Lightning. The all-electric version of the world's best-selling pickup comes with a higher price tag than the ICE version. Moreover, it falls short in terms of towing and hauling capabilities compared to its internal combustion counterpart. The range isn't particularly impressive either, and recent studies show that heavy use, whether it's towing, hauling, or off-roading, significantly reduces the autonomy. Reason number 4. The impact on lower-income households. The EV market is hitting a speed bump as the era of early adopters ends. Wealthy households have procured their high-end EVs, but GM and Ford's current offerings leave little room for average consumers to consider an EV. Low-income households, particularly those earning less than $30,000, find the prospect of owning an EV daunting due to the high upfront costs. These models are significantly pricier than their gas-powered equivalents, making it nearly impossible for such households to lease an EV. The challenges extend beyond upfront costs. Average U.S. consumers foresee several obstacles to owning an EV, including range anxiety and inadequate EV infrastructure. The scarcity of public chargers is evident everywhere. While EVs can be cheaper to run than gas-powered cars, this only holds true if you charge them at home. For the many Americans living in apartments without garages, public chargers are the only option, and their usage costs are comparable to running a typical gas-powered vehicle. Unlike Tesla, Ford and GM don't offer free charging for their customers. GM's offer of up to $7,500 in additional incentives for certain electric vehicles in 2024 is a positive step, but it's not a sustainable solution given the company's limited resources for further EV investments. Reason number 3. Ford and GM's lifestyle shift imposition. The variety of new EVs is wider than ever, but the growth curve for EV adoption is experiencing a significant slowdown. Apart from launching expensive new models, companies like GM and Ford don't seem to be doing much to assist average consumers with this transition. Customers are compelled to make significant lifestyle changes, and car makers offer little in return. We've already discussed range and charging anxiety, which are the main concerns for potential new EV owners. We also touched on the charging price, which is comparable to the cost of running gas-powered cars when using public chargers. But it's not just about the cost, it's about convenience. In simple terms, EVs are still a long way from matching the convenience of gas-powered cars. Stops for recharging are more frequent, and the charging process is significantly more time-consuming. Daily driving of an EV is essentially a logistical challenge for an average consumer. Coupled with factors like upfront cost, there's little rational incentive for the transition at this point. Reason number 2, the reliability question: GM and Ford's EVs. When car manufacturers market their EVs, they often highlight impressive acceleration, advanced tech features, and sustainability. However, the average buyer is more concerned with practical aspects like low running costs and, most importantly, reliability. This is where EVs fall short, as recent surveys indicate that EVs encounter 80% more issues than gas-powered cars. GM and Ford appear to be leading this unfortunate trend. Take GM's EV models, for instance. Almost every model has encountered significant software issues, whether it's related to the infotainment system, battery integration, or advanced driver assistance systems like Super Cruise. Chevy even had to halt sales of the Blazer EV due to numerous problems. Ford's models, while not as dramatic, have also demonstrated a high level of unreliability, with numerous reports about battery drains, charging, and infotainment system issues. Reason number 1, the green debate. Are electric cars really environmentally friendly? The Biden administration has been pushing the green agenda hard, with automotive electrification being a key component. However, it appears that major car makers like Ford and Chevrolet may not be fully committed to this plan. Biden's goal is to rapidly electrify America, with 2/3 of new cars purchased to be all electric by 2032. However, the plan is currently falling short, with electric cars making up just 5.8% of the market and electric trucks accounting for no more than 2%. One of the main reasons is GM and Ford's approach to this transition. It seems that behind the green agenda is an intention to maximize profits. EVs are on average $12,000 more expensive compared to their gas-powered counterparts, so federal tax incentives don't seem sufficient to attract new buyers. Meanwhile, internal combustion cars are becoming more expensive, with the extra profit being redirected to new EV investments. At the same time, consumers are becoming increasingly aware of the environmental risks associated with electric cars. While marketed as zero-emission vehicles, the reality is quite different, especially considering the environmental impact of mining lithium, a key raw material used for batteries. Americans are becoming more aware of the devastated areas surrounding lithium mines, which have led to ecological disasters in many parts of the world. Additionally, there are concerns about storing old batteries and potential fire risks, leading many Americans to question whether EVs are truly as green as they're made out to be. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of vehicles. Don't forget to subscribe to Highway Herald to stay updated on the latest vehicle updates and upcoming videos. See you next time.